and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, Game Changer Wrestling, GCW. It's a independent wrestling company who began as Jersey Pro Wrestling in 1999. It went defunct in 2004. They revived it in 2013, Jersey Pro Wrestling. It got renamed to Game Changer Wrestling in 2015. With everything that's gone on in the world, as we all know, the world is changing. It is very fluid. I'm hoping that everyone who's watching this, everyone's healthy. No one's been affected by the COVID-19. Personally, I have a friend at work that was diagnosed with it, but he's recovered. No family members that I know of have been tested positive for it. It's a very scary situation if, everyone wearing masks, we not wear masks. There's so much information coming out, true, false, and indifferent. We all don't know what to do. Same as everyone else here. So with that, my wife's been working from home. So I've been not able to watch as much wrestling as I would like, not able to do as many videos as I like. Which, you know what, it's a new normal in life. But here we go. With there only being new content from WWE, NXT, AEW, and Impact, I've always done this for the last couple of years. I've watched 7,000 matches in the last 17 months. I've been watching a lot of independent wrestling. Well, GCW, Game Changer Wrestling, they've had, what was this? 10 shows this year? 9 shows of theirs, 1 show they did with bar wrestling. And so I've been watching, I was catching up on the Acid Cup on the Independent Wrestling Television Network that I recently purchased. I'm like, I want to do a video about it. So here we are. So in 2020, I've watched 84 matches, 10 shows that GCW Game Changer Wrestling has been a part of. Let me tell you a little bit about Game Changer Wrestling. As I've watched these 84 matches here in 2020, and I watched a ton last year as well. GCW is a modern version of ECW. We all remember ECW from the 90s, Extreme Championship Wrestling, the death matches and the hardcore stuff, the barbed wire, ropes, and the whole 9 yard. We've heard, Stain Man and Tommy Dreamer and kendo sticks and all this, and we've heard of all about that. We've seen some stuff in WWE, and we've seen ECW over the years. That's what a Game Changer Wrestling is. They have the death matches. They have a shellac and a Jimmy Lloyd and all this. They go out there and they literally take freaking light tubes and create things that just to destroy someone. They go out there, put themselves through tables. They do this just for the entertainment of the fans, which is the first time I started watching, I'm like, this is stupid. I don't like this. I'm not really a hardcore guy. The more I started watching it, the more I started realizing, you know what? Game Changer Wrestling has a little bit for everyone. So what I've done, I've gone through and looked at the best 15 matches from 2020. Now the shows they've had this year, from January 11th they had I Can't Feel My Face. From January 18th, Take a Picture. From January 23rd they had the GCW versus Bar Wrestling 52. So I've included a match or two from there. On the 24th, they had Just Being Honest. On the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of February, Live Fast, Die Young, Ready to Die, The Art of War. Those were all shows done in Tokyo. They were done at some independent Japanese companies, little inter-country matches. And then on 2/15, they had Run Rickey Run. On 3/12, they had the Wrld of GCW. Obviously, at that point, pandemic starts hitting the United States. Shit starts getting shut down. On the 19th and 20th of March, they went to a little outside of El Paso, their training academy. They did the Acid Cup 2. They had two-night show, the Acid Cup. It's their second annual. Joey Janela, a AEW star, is the announcer. Holy shit, he's underutilized at AEW. But yeah, they went and put 2 days, no fans, just had the wrestlers in the crowd. Great show. If you get a chance, go to Independent Wrestling Television, IWTV. Check it out. It is freaking awesome. They have some stuff from 2019 on there as well. Fight TV has everything from 2020 and 2019 except for the Acid Cup. Some of these stars of GCW, my personal favorite, and every time I talk in for wrestling, I try to pump this guy up, Blake Christian. Blake Christian is 22 years old. He is a young, athletic daredevil. He reminds me of a lot of people have made this comparison as well, besides myself, Will Ospreay. If you take Will Ospreay 5 years ago, that's what Blake Christian is. Blake Christian had a match scheduled for WrestleMania weekend versus Will Ospreay. That would have been the match of the weekend. But due to COVID-19, the stay-at-home orders, WrestleMania weekend was canceled along with that epic match. Which all that's going to do is when it does happen, it's going to make people stand up. When I started watching independent pro wrestling, which would have been 2 years ago, in 2018, I wanted to kind of see something different besides the mainstream. I wanted to see what was out there. I've been able to watch so many great young talents and see them work their way up. And Jake Atlas, for example, watching him in GCW and other independent companies, seeing him come to NXT, and now he's in the NXT tournament for the Cruiserweight Champion. Seeing I think who else I've seen do this? Joey Janela, AMJF. I love Maxwell Jacob Freeman, AJF AEW. I've seen him in MLW. I've seen him in some other companies. And so seeing people like that, David Starr, of course, he's the king of the independents. But seeing these guys go from, relatively nobody, when nobody knows him, to having a conversation with a wrestling fan and going, hey, you know who Blake Christian is? They're like, no, who's that? What do you mean you don't know who Blake Christian is? And then talking about MJF, hey, this guy's freaking awesome. Now I talk to people like, yeah, he's pretty good. So some people are like, I don't get what you love about him, but we'll see, man. And it's the kind of thing, that's what wrestling does. It brings people together. So we're going to run down some of the guys to look out for in GCW. Obviously, Blake Christian, Jordan Oliver. He also wrestles for their sister promotion, Combat Zone Wrestling, CZW. Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson. Oh, he's a hell of a freaking technical wrestler and a mat wrestler. He is one of the top guys here. I've seen him on some other companies as well, like Evolve and whatnot. Alex Cohen, Nick Gage, former champion for GCW, the longest reigning champion, had about like 700 days. He lost it to AJ Gray, who lost it in the same night to Ricky Shampage, who currently is dodging Nick Gage. So we'll see what that happens, because I want Nick Gage to get that title back. Cole Radrick, a young up-and-comer. Matthew Justice, this is a hardcore guy. Effie, Mance Warner. Mance Warner is also one of the top stars of MLW. Joey Janela, he's probably the godfather of GCW. He's one of the guys that was there from day one. If there was a Mount Rushmore of GCW, it would be Joey Janela. Jimmy fucking Lloyd. Just him and Schlack, two of the top tier hardcore guys that go out there and put on any match. Alright, so we're going to run down the 15 best matches from 2020. Number 15 was from the Acid Cup Night 2. We had Matthew Justice versus Blake Christian. Blake Christian getting the victory there, moving on in the Acid Cup in the 3.25 star match. Number 14 comes from Bar Wrestling 52 Game Changer versus Bar Wrestling. We had Chris Bay versus Blake Christian. During the show, the announcers were talking about this was a comparison to Ricochet and Will Ospreay. Chris Bay kind of being the Ricochet type of guy. Blake obviously a lot of comparisons to Will Ospreay. I give the match 3.5. Chris Bay ended up winning. If it would have got another 5 minutes, I probably would have went 4 on it. It was great. Two of the top guys on the indies. Chris Bay now signed with Impact Wrestling. Hopefully they utilize him correctly. But yeah, if you ever get a chance to go on High Spots Wrestling Network, check that match out. The next two both come from Wrld of GCW from March 12th. Both were 3.5 star matches. We had Joey Janela versus Blake Christian and Matthew Justice versus Effie. Blake Christian beat Joe Janela, and Matthew Justice beat Effie. Like I said, both 3.5-star matches, both great. Number 11 comes from the Acid Cup Night 2. We had Jordan Oliver versus Blake Christian. Jordan Oliver, he's kind of the same lines as a Blake Christian. They're kind of that young, talented. I think they're both like 20. I know Blake Christian's 22. I think Jordan Oliver's like 21 or 22. They are just kind of that, with Austin Theory, kind of that next level of they're so talented, they just need to be molded, and you can create a superstar out of them. Blake Christian are getting the victory. Number 10, coming from night 1 of the Acid Cup, Benjamin Carter versus Blake Christian. Blake Christian getting the victory there, and both of these matches were 3.5-star. Number 9 comes from Take a Picture. In January, we had Chris Bay versus Ali Zane. Ali Zane getting the victory there, but a great showing by Chris Bay. That was also 3.5. Number 8 comes from Run Rickey Run in February. We had Effie versus Tony Deppen. Tony Deppen getting the victory there. Both these guys are kind of the young, next level, uber talented, just need a way to get over in order to make themselves big in the independent scene. Number 7 comes from Live Fast, Die Young, one of the Tokyo shows. Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson versus Yuji Akahashi. Yuji Akahashi getting a victory over the Dirty Daddy, but I give it 3.5-star. Number 6 comes from Just Be Honest. In January, we had Tony Deppen versus Mance Warner. Tony Deppen getting the victory there. I ended up giving that a 3.5-star. Number 5 comes from Just Being Honest. It was a 6-way scramble. One of their scramble matches they call clusterfuckery. This was, I think it might have been a clusterfucker. It was at least a scramble match. 6-way scramble match. We had Gringo Loco, Eli Everfly, Adrian Quest. Oh, 2 young guys I forgot all about. Matthew Van Griffin, Sky Boogie, and Starboy Charlie. I believe this match, Starboy, I forgot the market on there. Starboy Charlie got the victory. I give it 3.5-star. Just one of those little spurts of just craziness in the junior heavyweight kind of division, light heavyweight division there, and just 2 guys everybody just kind of flipping everywhere. Number 4 came from Ready to Die. This was a hardcore match. This was Matsu Tanka versus Matthew Justice from Ready to Die in February, one of the Tokyo shows. Masa Tanka getting the victory and 3.5-star. Now, the next 3 matches, the 3 best matches from GCW in 2020. Number 3 comes from the Acid Cup Night 2. Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson versus Blake Christian. I give this match 3 3/4 star. It could have been a 4-star match, if not higher. But you know what? It was great. Just watching Blake Christian fly everywhere. Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson, just the hard-nosed mat wrestling that he can do. 3 3/4 star. Dickinson getting the victory. Number 2 comes from Just Being Honest. In January, we had Dirty Daddy Chris Dickinson versus Mr. Independent himself, David Starr. Chris Dickinson getting the victory over David Starr in a 3 3/4 star match. The match that I claim to be the best GCW match of 2020, Just Being Honest in January. Aries versus Blake Christian. Blake Christian getting the victory. I end up giving it 3 3/4 star. So that is the best of Game Changer Wrestling 2020. Definitely, hopefully this pandemic aside, we get more Game Changer Wrestling. We get more of everything. Looks like, I know there's things going on in New Japan where the Japanese government is starting to lift the stay-at-home orders as of June 8th. Hopefully we get Old Dominion. It was supposed to start on June 6th. The Best of the Super Junior has been canceled. And that was as of June 4th, I believe it was, when that was supposed to end. So hopefully June 8th, June 9th era, we get no fans is fine, but we get Old Dominion in New Japan. I hope they would redo the Best of the Super Juniors, my favorite tournament of the year, along with the New Japan Cup. Hopefully GCW can get back at it. Progress, Ring of Honor, all these independent wrestling companies. Again, if you've never ever checked out independent pro wrestling, check out Fight TV. You can go in there and purchase them. Check out independent wrestling television, $10 a month, unlimited in independent wrestling, which is freaking awesome. Also check out High Spots Network. Progress has their own app. It has some other independents on there as well. So does Red Pro. Definitely, check this stuff out. $10 a month, kind of like WWE Network. There's really nothing else going on right now. Why not? Check it out. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content. Pro wrestling is only as strong as the independents. Make sure, if you're a wrestling fan, check out independent wrestling. It won't let you down.